Hello and welcome back to Ironman's Whimsy. Today we are going to put all kinds of things together for this You Are Amazing card. I've used the stamp from Oceanfront and I've used the Brick Mortar 3D embossing folder. I've used the dies from the Amazing Thanks die set that coordinates with the Amazing Silhouettes set. And I have used the Splendid stems dies that coordinate with the Splendid Thoughts set. So like I say, lots going on here today. I have used adhesive backing for my die cuts because they're small. And I don't know if you can see, but there's areas where I glued pieces down and you can see the pink has almost gone kind of fluorescent. It's Melon Mambo and it's gone kind of fluorescent in the glue. So I wasn't very careful with the glue and it kind of spread out. So your best bet is to go with a very, very fine line glue or to use your adhesive backing. So what I've got is a Granny Apple Green card base and then a 5 1/4 by 4 piece of basic white. I am going to second value the background because I wanted the die cuts to really jump out. So I'm going to ink up, stamp away, and then stamp onto my card. So ink up, stamp away, and then stamp down. I did 2 rows of the Melon Mambo, and then I switched over to the Granny Apple Green. So I do need to clean off my stamp in between, and I'm just going to stamp it away a couple of times. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Scrub pad, just give it a spin on the wet and a spin on the dry. And then we're going to get the Granny Apple Green out. Same thing, we're going to ink up, stamp away, and then stamp down on the card front. And again, ink up, turn this over because it's a little muddy, stamp away, and stamp down. So there we go. Now this got muddy here. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of got a bit of the pink behind it. It's because I was stamping away on the same piece and it gets very wet with all the ink on it. So it makes it a little bit muddy. So that's what happens there. So I'm going to close these up. I need to run this through my embossing folder. So I'm just going to pop this in, close it up, and I will run it through my cut and emboss machine. And we always put it in edge first so that we don't crack or break our folders. So we'll run that through. I'll put this back off to the side. And pop this out. And there we go. You can see the all of the brickwork on there. I'm going to take this and I'm going to take the cover off the adhesive. There's always something, isn't there? And I'm just going to run this through with the adhesive. Lay it down on my cardstock here. There we go, just like that. Okay, so I am going to put the You Are Amazing ended up being kind of a little bit low. So I'm actually going to start by putting the Amazing up just a little bit higher. Now, when you're peeling these, you need to just be a little bit careful so that you don't tear the letters because they're very fine and we don't want to tear them at all. Just going to take that out. So what I usually do is I usually put my fingers in behind just to give it a little bit of stability. And then if you have anything that gets stuck that you want out, you can just peel it out with your fingers. And then of course, very gently taking it apart to place it down. And I am going to put this up just a little bit higher on this card, and you can see how the cardstock still shows up really, really well, even though it's on the same color background, because we just did that background in the second value. So it's not quite as dark. And here we go. The adhesive backing is really, really, really good, especially when you're doing fine work like this. And the flowers. I've cut lots of leaves for the bottom of the card, so we can decide what we want to put on there. I've got a little bit more room on this card, so I can decide if I'm going to put lots of greenery on, if I'm going to bump it up a little bit, or maybe I put this one in the middle on this one, and then I can pop this small one on this side too. It's meant just to be an accent. It's not meant to be kind of coming out of anywhere or going anywhere. It's just meant to be an accent. I quite like that. So let's get this one put down. I'm just going to pull the pieces out that we don't need, and just like that. And then we peel this. Anytime there's a direction to it, I like to peel with the direction, not against it, because it helps not to tear anything. And it's always assuming that I can get the edge up. There we go. So say we're just going to peel with the direction of the leaves, and then there's way less risk that we're actually going to tear a piece. So then it lays down nicely, and we're going to take these pieces out that we don't need here, and we'll peel this off. I think maybe most of them will just stay on the backing paper, but we just need to get it started. I wonder if this will help get it started. There we go. You can see most of the back pieces that we don't need are coming away with the backing, so that's perfect. So we can pop this down like that. And then let's see if this works magically a second time the way it did the first time. There we go. Wow, that is very good. Look at me learning something new on a video. There we go. And then I've just I was using up pieces of my adhesive backing, because like specialty paper, it is like gold, and I don't want to waste any of it. So it ends up that I have little pieces that I need to peel sometimes, but it's worth it. So there we go. Pop this one in over here like this, and there we go. You could bling it up if you wanted to. I chose not to bling this one because it's kind of the brick and mortar background. You could put, if you had a little daisy flower, you could put that on if you wanted to. But other than that, we are done with the You Are Amazing card using the Oceanfront stamp, the Amazing Thanks dies, the Splendid stems dies, and the Brick and Mortar 3D embossing folder. So thank you so much for watching, and we will create together again soon.